Howdy folks, it is Lanso90 here, and welcome to Let's Play Planet Zoo. I've been waiting for this for quite some time now, most people have. Planet Coaster really surprised everyone when it came out from Frontier a couple years ago, and it ended up being really successful and really fun, and they decided to make a zoo game after that. And this is what we're going to play. So I've been debating what mode to play, because there's a lot of people playing this right now, and pretty much all the bases have been covered by everyone. So there's not really a specific niche that I could fit into here. But I'm torn between either challenge or franchise mode. Franchise mode is like an online type of game mode where all the animals and stuff are like from other users and things. It was a little bit broken in the beta, but it was also like one of the only other modes they had. And challenge mode is more of a classic kind of building mode. But I think I might want the added challenge of franchise mode, assuming that everything works now. It's a tough call. Alright, I paused things there just to think it over a little bit more than I already had. I'm gonna do franchise. I think there's not many people doing the franchise mode right now. So let's call it light fire conservation. Really? How can I make this? Just do light fire zoo, but I wanted to do like light fire conservation, but did not quite fit. My other thinking with franchise mode is it's a little bit of a way for us to interact with each other if you're also playing this game. Interestingly, it looks like we get to kind of like pick our location based on, or our climate just based on the map here, which is kind of interesting. I didn't know that. I thought you just picked out of a list of where you start. It's funny that you can pick like Antarctica and stuff. All sorts of interesting climates. I think we should just go with temperate North America, just because it should give us more of a range of animals that'll be happy with the temperatures. It might not be perfect, but it might be okay. Should be able to have some moderately cool animals and some moderately warm animals. Oh, you can have more than one zoo. It's North American temperate. I didn't think of more than one name. We'll go with British Zoo. Alright, hook me up with the game pause, please. Spacebar wasn't doing it, so we're gonna have to look at the controls. I basically know how the game works, like all the gameplay and stuff, but I don't know the controls. High space wouldn't be pause, I'm not really sure. Alright, found it and changed it to space. For some reason, it was on P. It's because a lot of the, this game has tons and tons of like really complicated building controls if you want them. And they want those to be easily accessible for you. I'd rather have the ability to pause very quickly. So, in this game mode, we're going to be pretty limited on budget and conservation credits. The cash is just normal cash, but conservation credits are what you need for like buying new animals and things. See, it's already a challenge here. Up two different types of exhibit species. And then there was also a community challenge. They just wanted to breed 75,000 Bengal tigers. Apparently a lot of people are playing because it was knocked out of the park. So that's pretty impressive. Let's see. I don't even know if we need downtime specifically, but just take a look at our income and outcome here. Alright, so let's get things started here. Give me some road. Paths. This is like concrete. Everything worth the same cost? Yep. Thinking, what would I prefer most? This seems a little bit overwhelming with just the pattern on it. Gravel, rustic. You need even gravel or rustic. Go with rustic. Yes, and this is why we need angle snap was the one that was toggled by P, which is a fairly good use of it. Or the one that was toggled by space that I've moved over to P. And let's see, there's a few basic facilities we need to get started here. Like the Animal Trading Center. I don't know if we necessarily need a keeper hut. Might as well get most of these things. So it gives you these basic designs that you can put down that are just like a flat box. And these are kind of cool because you can go into the construction tab and then design it however you want to design it. And you can see it has like this insulated internal wall pattern, so make something pretty interesting around it if you want. Or they have these ones that are kind of pre-made. And for now, we'll probably go with just pre-made. So that way we can always go back and do it better later. So let's actually grab path again. And we'll use like gravel paths to kind of indicate where we want employees only to walk. Send it down that way. Let's see, I think it's like quarantine? Let's see, what's the quick way to rotate? There's gotta be one, right? We shouldn't have to place it to be able to rotate it. Oh, up here. 90 degrees is Z. Okay. Like you to snap to. Yep. A little big. Hopefully this doesn't cause guest unhappiness. In fact, let's just move it a little bit further out here. It might not be the staff buildings at all. It might just be the electrical and water systems that you have to install that do that. I think we need the trade center. I don't really want to crowd the entrance, but I also want these things to be fairly accessible too. Go ahead and get the vet. And put it right in this tree, but don't worry about it, it'll be okay. You can grab the tree and move it. Hoping it would look okay right there, but not quite. We'll also put the zookeeper huts over here, I suppose. Also build these attached to each other too, if we wished. Might be a little bit better for like this building. So I think we go onto this building and then do like group edit mode, facilities. No, there is a way to do that though. Now we'll just leave them separate. We'll worry about making things look nicer later when we have more money to spend around trying to make it perfect. I don't know if we need the workshop. Probably at least get the staff room though. Kind of awkwardly shaped. What I'm thinking is go back to paths. And do that. Bust the staff room in here like this. Okay. Sort of the busy work taken care of. Go get our staff themselves. I'm just going to kind of grab one of everyone. I'm sure I'm going to need them. Panic. I actually don't know if we need security. Let's wait on security. I don't know if it's actually in game yet. Veterinarian. Like, security was a late addition to Planet Coaster as well. And I thought I heard that it's just placeholder right now. Okay. It's all good. Can't find accessible staff room. Should be able to. Probably just because things are paused. Species. Sorry, animal welfare tracker. This is the animal market where we can actually get some animals. Nothing in animal storage. Great history, no rewards. A lot of aardvarks. Let's see, I'm just thinking what would be the best way to get us started. New path. I don't think things don't want things to look too boring. But also I'm a boring kind of guy. If you want to see like really elegant designs in zoos, I'm not the player for you. I'm not gonna make things like horrible. I'll try, but I just don't really have the knack for like creative design. I'm a writer, not an artist. We'll put a little barrier in here. And to start us off, I'm not going to get like a very violent animal. It's going to give us something pretty straightforward. Now the real question is higher numbers of resistance better or worse? Well, hedges have 1, brick has 5, so I'd assume higher is better. So let's do, say, climbable. So what kind of animals do we have here? Wow, it's like a helicopter going above my house. The lowest price, please. Cash listings, but peafowls are cheap. Warthogs are cheap. Antelope. And we'll do warthogs. Pretty plain and simple, but... Well, do they need, like, really hot climates? Let's see. We're not in the hot climate here. I don't want animals that I have to put down a, some kind of way to manage their temperature, you know? Not at the start, just because the temperature management stuff costs a lot of money to operate. And look for a specific species, but... Okay, pause things just to look for a little bit longer. And it does seem basically like peafowl and warthogs are going to be the way we have to go. So let's try warthogs. Let's take a peek at the Zoopedia one more time. Want to see, like, how many group size, 1 male and 6 females. What I don't know is I don't know if this is too big or not big enough. I guess we might as well just start trying to get used to, we're gonna have to resize things as we go anyway. So let's look for ones that have the bronze medals. Just as kind of like a baseline, this one is good. Your longevity being really, really short scares me. You're pretty good though, so I'll grab this female warthog. I assume the bronze ones are just plain old default better. I'll adopt this male one. And with any luck, they can just reproduce more on their own. Maybe we'll grab one more. Because it seems like they do prefer to be in slightly larger packs here. Not very fertile. So now I could search for warthog. Common warthog. Females. There we go. Okay. So we can also look at, assuming they're in here now, we can kind of... I think it'll still be easier to just go here and click on one, click on Zoopedia. They need a grade 2 fence that's over 3.3 feet. I think will be good enough. Please be angle snapped, I think. Now, what all we have options here for? Coast lengths remain constant above ground level. Those lengths vary to keep the top of the barrier flat. Flat top and edible lavana. Those lengths vary to keep the top of the barrier flat. Depth of bottom post can be added for building barriers across any shore. Length doesn't matter, we're looking for height. You might be able to change that once we start placing it. Now, I thought there was a way to have it snap. Snap to, road. I think it might be roads that can snap to barriers. So perhaps I should have made the barrier first before placing the road. I don't know my meters to feet. Let's see, I got my phone to figure that out. Honestly, it's sort of their fault. Like, why do they list it in feet in the Zoopedia and then in-game everything's measured in meters? I mean, I know what roughly a meter appears like, but I don't know. One meter is 3.2 feet. So if we do 1.2 meters, that'd be good enough. Is there no 1.2 meters? A little bit unfortunate. We're building on like a weird angle. That's what I get for not building on a box. If I had just built a box, it'd be so much simpler. And there is something cheap we could have done. Oops. I don't know why this doesn't want to place. But, excuse me, I have a sore throat. It came at a very bad time because like 10 video games released in the same week. The same week that I got an extremely sore throat. But anyway, basically the wooden wall can curve. So you can place the wooden wall down first, and then you can say replace this wall with a different wall. And you can just replace it with any wall type you want, and then you'll have a curved version of that wall. At least that's what you could do in the beta of the game. They might have patched it out now. What are you obstructed by, though, is the thing. Oh, you know what? I could have done that, and that would have been better. Really no obstruction there. Always do that. Sometimes the game is still a little fickle about that sort of stuff. Okay. Now let's stick a... Thing looks really intense. Rack airlock, what's that? I don't know if there's like an actual physical difference or if it's just an appearance thing. Just this, one looks a little bit rough. I will. Don't really want it on like the leading edge of the park, but I also don't really want them to have to run a bizarre amount of distance to get here. That's okay. Alright, so now do animals. I'll unpause. Animals, right? I need a workshop, huh? Okay. Figured there was a chance of that. Alright. I should have my animals now. So... Are they in quarantine? Animal storage. Yeah, I have animals. A little bit of like, I don't know if it's lag or... A little strange. Maybe the game is meant to be running while you move stuff around. Alright. Obviously this habitat isn't really suited for them, but once we get them in there, we'll be able to get a better look at like what they need. That's why I want to do that part first.